Hello again, everybody. David Clary along with Caleb Riker. We got Jeff Huckabee, Mike Kelly here at Farragut High School getting set for our second ball game of the day. The Wildcats taking on the Knights of Providence Academy out of Florida. We're getting ready to get started here. The Wildcat pitcher today will be the freshman, Braylon Payne. Braylon, this will be his first varsity experience as a pitcher. He throws hard. He's a long snapper for the Wildcat football team, so he's kind of like you, Jeff. He's a football guy and a baseball guy, but he has told me, I've seen him at Braves games, and I've seen him, and I've known his grandfather, and I've known his uncle. Mike Friels used to work for me years ago. He loves baseball, and I think that'll be the sport he probably sticks with. And, you know, a lot of people do that. They pick the favorite sport. I think you did too.
Yeah, I did that my senior year, yeah, this kid, he's got a lively arm, and I like his curveball. Looks like he's got a great 12-6 curveball coming out of the same tunnel, so that's always hard for a batter to pick up.
He's a freshman. Here's the long throw down by the catcher. We got a new catcher in today. That looks like that might be Max playing catcher today. I'll check the lineup here once again. Max DeRiggi from Guam, and I think that might be the case. My first look at him as a catcher. And yeah, Max is playing catcher today. Leading things off for the Knights of Providence Academy is Port Conger. He is the left fielder, and we're about set. I'll set the infield for you in a moment. As the Wildcat pitcher, the freshman, Braylon Payne. I don't see his grandparents here. Granddad is a big supporter. That pitch is cut on a miss. Lively pitch there, and he swung right through it. Be right-handed throwing freshman, as I mentioned, against the left-handed hitting Port Conger. Wind the pitch, hit foul, back our way, and the count is 0-2. Good start for him.
He's keeping the ball low, always a good place to be.
Defensively, the Wildcats have Joseph Webb at first. Whit Reniger is the second baseman. Shortstop is Jaden Cheverton. Mikey Teasley's at third. I'll get the outfield in a moment. Max DeRiggi is the catcher. That pitch is up high. The outfield, the left fielder is going to be Carson Fagan once again, and Warren East is in center, and Brooks Poteet is over in right. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground, up the third base line, but foul. Doubleheaders are always fun for the players. In fact, we play so much baseball. Coaches love practice, players love games. And we've played, I guess, 4 straight games here the last few days, and I'll come back and talk to you about that in a second. Let's see what Braylon can do. The freshman has a 1-2 count. The pitch, cut on a miss. That's a good start for the freshman, his very first varsity pitch. And that is a strikeout, first varsity batter. But doubleheaders are fun for players, practice fun for coaches.
Sometimes.
You were a coach, and we were talking about that. You coached Mikey's dad years ago.
Yeah, I did. Michael Teasley, and then also Coach Kevin McKeithen. Coached those guys back in 2001, 2002. So great relationship with those kids. And now to see them with their own kids out here playing just makes you feel old.
Yeah, Kevin, one of the assistant coaches of the Wildcats. Better now for them is going to be Cam Blanton, I believe. He's the second baseman for the Knights. Played Farragut last night. We saw Farragut in the first game today. They lost to Jefferson County 2-1 in the first game that we saw. Wildcats beating the Patriots 8-2. There's a pitch evidently a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. I don't think we have Rick behind the plate anymore. Rick Hendricks did the umpire work in the first ball game. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We appreciate you watching our broadcasts. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and there's a called strike. And the count is 3-1. 1 out, nobody aboard. We're in the top of the first. Oak Ridge taking on Providence Academy out of Florida. Back-to-back days against the Sunshine State. Knocked off Leesburg yesterday 14-1. There's another called strike.
And I tell you what, as a freshman, you're watching a couple things here. This kid just poised, doesn't look nervous, throwing hard, keeping the ball low. So off to a great start.
He played a lot of long snapper for the Wildcats this year as a freshman. That pitch is outside, and that is a ball. He got injured. I'm trying to remember the ball game, but he had to miss the last part of the football season. What game was it? Bradley Central game. And our own crew member, Dylan Woody, got to take over for that position. So, of course, Braylon's uncle, Michael Friels, was a part of our crew way back in the day. We got a family affair. It's a small town. We got a lot of people who are interconnected. You're related to Mike Kelly. Do you claim that?
No, please don't tell anybody that. I know that we're live right now across the World Wide Web, but yeah, if we can keep that on the download, that'd be great.
1 ball, no strikes. Good lead at first. Wildcats and Providence Academy. Two teams have never played before. We've played a lot of Florida teams, but not this one. There's a called strike. Good framing there by Max DeRiggi. I made a mistake. The left fielder is actually Parker Free. As I look out in the left field, Parker, obviously, it's hard to play catcher twice, back-to-back ball games. It's not super warm here, but it is warm. So Parker's out in left field. My apologies. As the pitch comes in with the runner going, it's a ball. Here comes Max's throw. It's a good one, and not in time, though. And that's a stolen base. Not a bad throw there by the young man from Guam. I was told he moved to Oak Ridge. He's spent his entire life in Guam until January. And obviously, Guam, American territory, and it's good to have him in Oak Ridge. I don't know the backstory, why he's here, but we're glad to have him. For my first look at him, he's played a little third base for the Wildcats this year, but my first look at him behind the plate. 2-1 pitch, that's inside. He's got to be nervous, Jeff, because, like I said, this is his first ever varsity experience pitching for the Wildcats, and his catcher's going to go out and talk to him. He's got to be a little nervous.
Yeah, you're always nervous, no matter what level baseball, whenever it's your first time. And, being a freshman, playing a good team out of Florida, but been impressed with him so far. You don't see some of the visible signs of nervousness that you can sometimes see in a player.
He's behind in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. They've got a runner at second base, 1 out. Big right-hander checks the runner at second. And the 3-1 pitch. Hit. Oh, nice play by Joseph Webb. It's a track meet to the bag, and he wins it. Nice play. The ball was smoked on the ground, and the Vanderbilt commit makes the play, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. When you're a freshman, you realize that the guys playing behind you, they, you've got some older athletes behind you that can make some great plays, so sometimes that can give you the confidence just to –
We've got 2 SEC guys on opposite sides of the diamond. Mikey Teasley's committed to go to UT, and Joseph Webb's committed to play at Vanderbilt. 2 outs now. Runner moves over to third. And the batter is Finn Moss, the designated hitter, and he takes one out of the zone. Caleb, got a new stream going? Hopefully we have some viewers here today. We had several. We'll check the chat if you're wherever you're watching us from. I know the DeRiggi family is probably watching us from Guam. As Braylon comes in, ball hit deep to center field. Not too deep because Warren East is going to make the play for out number 3. 2 really nice plays. First one by Joseph Webb and that one by Warren East.
Incredible diving play right there. Looked like for those that are maybe not watching on the stream but listening to this, looked like Andrew Jones back in the day, diving, making an incredible catch.
What's crazy about high school baseball now, maybe it was this way years ago, but we have multiple juniors that have already committed to play college ball. Warren's one of those guys. He's going to be going to Youngstown State. Parker's a junior. He's going to go to Kennesaw State in your neck of the woods. And Joseph Webb, a junior, he's committed to Vanderbilt. So, as a junior, already committed. Mikey's already signed with Tennessee.
Yeah, it's, it's started about probably 7 or 8 years ago, where you saw a lot of sophomores and juniors start to commit to various colleges. And, it's, a lot of work building relationships with college coaches, with all these kids. And, a lot of these kids are playing travel ball and playing down in the Atlanta area and, in the Lake Point, which is an incredible facility. So they get a lot of exposure. So.
You know what I like best about Lake Point is the new varsity that's there at that exit.
Well, I think they tore down a Crystal to put the varsity in, which disappointed me. I'm more of a Crystal guy than varsity guy.
So is Caleb's favorite coach and teacher, Coach James Branson. James Branson loves Crystal. You and I?
No, not a big Crystal guy at all. It's not definitely not my first stop or my last stop I ever want to go to. That's a nowhere stop.
We just got a little break with a cloud here. Anybody on the chat in the early ball game at the start of this game as the Wildcats coming to bat here? There'll be Warren East, Brooks Poteet, Mikey Teasley. Boy, that cloud feels good after sitting in the sun the last little bit. Nice play out there by Warren East.
So I got a text message, David, and just passing along some well wishes from Tony Johnson. And he wanted me to tell you live on air that he like everybody else, appreciates all the work that you've done for decades, and you're just synonymous with sports excellence in Oak Ridge, the Wildcats, and he told me to tell you hello.
You're making me blush here. Thank you, Tony. We enjoyed watching your daughter play basketball, too. That's Jenna's dad, Jenna Johnson's dad. Yeah, so Jenna was a fine player for the Lady Wildcats. Warren East to lead things off for the Wildcats, and Warren had a pretty good game the first time. Got a couple hits, couple RBIs in the ball game. Warren's going to be going to Youngstown State. I haven't gotten a chance to interview Warren about why he chose that. It's always interesting why a kid will choose a school to go to. I mean, Youngstown State, you know, I don't know much about their baseball program, to be honest with you, but I'll ask him. I mean, someday when I get it, maybe after this ball game, I think Warren's going to have 3 hits today. I'm predicting it. Yeah, Warren's going to have 3 hits, and we're going to talk to him after the game. The first pitch is a called strike. Nice little breeze coming in. Not supposed to rain, is it? But this feels good. It is kind of cooled off a little bit. Pitch to Warren is hit well to right center field. The center fielder's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So a couple nice plays in the outfield. Warren made one himself just a moment ago, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Covered a lot of ground out there to make that play.
Yeah, center fielder got a great jump on the ball right off the bat. In center field, you can usually read the ball really well. Sometimes it's hard to do that in left or right field, just depending on the batter.
Here's Brooks Poteet batting in the number 2 spot. He swings and he misses. Early season ball games before his injury, he was in the number 2 spot for the Wildcats. Had that collision in the Anderson County ball game, missed a couple ball games. Been back for the last 3, I do believe. Pitch to him is on the outside corner, way outside of the corner. In fact, on the corner of the right-handed batter's box corner. But it is, well, you probably heard me. But
if we had ABS at the high school level, I think he would have stepped out and tapped his helmet right there to see that was clearly outside the zone.
Strike zone not quite as sharp as it was in the Rick Hendricks ball game before. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning, scoreless game. Brooks hits the ball foul, coming back this way, and out of play. Kind of popped out, and the cars behind us. So far, no damage done, except that one truck of last year or 2 years ago. Brooks back in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, that's outside with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good inning of work. Braylon Payne gave up a couple base runners in the top half of the inning. The freshman did in his first ball game. Was able to work out of trouble. Got some help with the gloves behind him, as you said, the veteran gloves. As Brooks hits the ball foul back to us, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caleb Riker is doing our producing work. He's got the lower camera and the top camera working. He's working the scoreboard that we've now worked 2 games in a row, first time this year, with a really cool scoreboard. Brooks back in. The pitch is high and outside, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I always forget I'm a radio guy. I've done radio my entire life. I talk a baseball game like a radio guy. I just keep talking because dead air. I keep forgetting people can watch this as Brooks takes ball 4. Scoreboard was wrong, so good start for Brooks. But I also have a theory, too, especially in high school baseball. You got a lot of grandparents, a lot of kind of people who are relatives of players who, honestly, probably they care if we win, but they only care to hear that grandkid's name. And they wait for that, and they might not be paying attention much until that grandkid's name is mentioned. So that's my theory.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of dead air in baseball in general, right? So they may be working outside in the garden, and they hear their grandkid's name, and then they know to tune in, pick up the phone, flip it over.
That's why I kind of do it the radio way, and that and about 30 years doing radio too. Well, actually, more than that, actually. No talk, Caleb. One strike the count. Runner at first is Brooks Poteet. Good speed.
Caleb said you did it during the Great Depression.
Yeah. I've been told that. That's Dylan who said that, but Caleb probably will say it on the way home, probably. Of course, Caleb, the only thing he said to me, he's been with me for 4 years, but he's looking more forward to where we're eating after the game as opposed to this second game, which is typical of my crew. As Mikey hits the ball in the infield, straight up in the air, catcher under it, and makes the catch for out number 2. And here comes Parker to bat. Parker is the left fielder in the second ball game. Wildcats won that game 8-2 over Jefferson County. This is a team out of Florida, and they've been here a couple days, maybe more. I know they played Farragut last night. Wildcats, we saw Farragut before, and Farragut obviously, look at all those state championships out in the outfield. You can see them just covering from the 80s to the most recent year last season. But Jefferson County won that first game today 2-1 as Brooks Poteet draws the throw over to first. Caleb? Yeah, I'm telling you, they've, and last year, nothing against Farragut. Farragut's got a great program. They've been great for a long time, but they really got a beneficial bracket. Here's the throw on the stolen base attempt. That's an easy stolen base for Brooks Poteet. And we'll give him a stolen base there. And he's in scoring position with 2 outs. And Parker with a 1-ball, no strike count. Good jump, good steal by Brooks Poteet.
Yeah, he really stole that on the pitcher. Got a great jump, and looks like he may have gotten a strawberry out there on second base too. Looks like he was rubbing his leg a little bit there. Hopefully he's fine there.
He got injured in the Anderson County ball game, and that's probably. I was talking to his mom before the game, and she said his knee is still pretty sore. His wrist is sore too. It was a nasty collision at first base. I'm trying to remember it was Anderson County for sure. He was running down the line, and the ball and the fielder of the first base, they collided at the same time, and he missed a couple ball games. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Pitch to Parker, ripped deep to left. That ball is going, and it. Now for the Wildcats will be Joseph Webb. 2-0 Oak Ridge. You're exactly right. Mikey's home run was one of those really tall, long, moonshot, as Caleb said. That one definitely was a shot. Hit the trees, but you knew it as soon as he hit it was gone.
Yeah, and in the major leagues, bat angle maximum for a home run. Get exit velocities around 25 degrees. I bet you that home run, that was a little bit flatter. I bet you probably in the 15-degree range there. Just a line drive that was smoked out of this field.
4th home run of the year for Parker, and the Wildcats have a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch to Joseph. That pitch is outside. A little bit of a raindrop dropped on us, but it feels, honestly, feels good. The breeze has kind of cooled it down just a bit. 2 balls, no strikes. Joseph back in. Pitch to him. And that's down low, and it's a ball. And it's ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning. And the batter now for the Wildcats will be Carson Fagan. Carson is the DH today. He's hitting for Braylon Payne, the pitcher. Conversation between the catcher and the pitcher. Did you pitch?
I pitched a little bit in JV, and that was about it for Coach Stan Ballard. Yep.
Yeah, we miss Coach Ballard. Coach picked up some cancer in his throat and kind of held on for years and years, and he was just a great guy. I'm telling you, he was a super guy.
Yeah, just couldn't ask to be coached by a better human being, just a great person. And shout out to Lisa Ballard. I actually spoke with her a couple weeks ago. Keep up with her every once in a while, see how she's doing. So
Joseph trying to steal, and he does. The ball goes into center field, and Joseph's heading towards third, and he'll make it. So we'll give Joseph a stolen base, and he advances to third on the error. And the Wildcats have another runner at third. 2 already in. The Wildcats on the 2-run home run by Parker Free. 2 outs, and Carson steps in. We're in the bottom of the first inning here from Farragut High School. Monday we'll be at Gulf Shores taking on North Little Rock. We'll have the broadcast for you. Here's the pitch. Carson takes one down and low, and the count is on the scoreboard. Is it 3 balls and no strikes or 2 balls? No, 2 balls and no strikes. I should have. Sparky's doing his job inside there. Good job. Doing the scoreboard work for Farragut. It's been here forever. Pitch to Carson on the inside corner. Again, a little too inside. He's called that consistently, though. On his left side, he has called it strikes, whether it's in the zone or not. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cut on and missed, and that evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, the ump is lined up directly on that inside corner of the plate, so he is giving the pitcher a little bit of that inside corner there.
2 outs. Joseph takes his lead off at third. A pitch to Carson is hit foul over toward the Dean Fieldhouse, and it bounces off the roof. That cloud's moving away, Caleb. Hopefully, when we were in Gulf Shores last year, you got burned. Don't get burned here today. Here's the pitch to Carson. Get foul back to the screen. A little camera issue there for a second. You got it fixed?
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to Parker. I did not get the shot. I went to change the camera, and it was just black, and I'm sorry, Parker. Oh, gosh.
So we have no record of Parker's home run. We can hopefully, we'll get another opportunity. I'm telling Coach Free after the ball game too. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carson Fagan. Here's the pitch to him. Hit in the air, foul territory, well out of play. They give it a look. It's over the top of the Oak Ridge dugout. Do you like the black jerseys the Wildcats wear?
I guess you could probably call me old school now, but yes, I do like the black. I like the pinstripe pants that they've got on, and then I think the black are probably a good alternative jersey for them.
2-2 pitch is hit foul up the third base line. The count remains at 2-2. 2 outs, 2 in on the 2-run home run that nobody saw except me, Caleb, and the people up here in the stands. Not your fault. Things happen, Caleb. I mean,
Well, see, this is the advantage of you still, doing radio, because you painted the picture for people that couldn't see it.
Yeah. Things happen. I mean, considering we're up here and he's having to do everything, you've done a good job, Caleb, for sure. Christy Free's not happy, but, I'm still happy with you. Carson is hit by the pitch, and down to first he goes. The Wildcats have a couple base runners on the corners. And the batter now will be Jaden Cheverton. Got to speak to Jaden between ball games. Hope you saw that on our first game. And Jaden really done a good job. He pitched and got on base a couple times. He's just been very solid for the Wildcats this year. I think he's only a sophomore, and I hate when I say that. He is a sophomore, yeah. But like I said in the previous game, he had the best hair at the state tournament of anybody. I mean, it was spotted like a leopard, and it was nice. And he takes a pitch up high, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Much better than the hair that you had when you were in middle school, for sure.
Yeah, that was uncontrolled, no haircut, just a lot of hair.
I can't wait for Parker. Parker's going to go home. He's going to go to the YouTube stream and look for that home run. And it's not your fault. I'm messing with you. But things happen.
I'm going to tell him before he gets home. I'm just going to apologize to him before he leaves here.
1 ball, no strikes. 2 on, 2 in for the Wildcats. Runner going. Inside, here's the throw. They're going to have a play at the plate, and he's going to be safe. And the Wildcats are going to have a runner at third, too. They brought in the second baseman inside, and he made the catch. The catcher threw it to him directly, and then he had trouble kind of getting it out of his glove, and the third run scores.
Yeah, on that play right there, you as a second baseman, you really got to get rid of it quick, more than throw it hard. Quickness matters a little bit more, and that little hesitation getting the ball out of his glove was the difference of being safe versus out.
Wildcats have a runner at third, and ball bounces away, but not far enough for Carson Fagan to come in. So the Wildcats have 3 on the board here in the first inning. As it was a ball. Yep. Joseph Webb scored that run. Here's the pitch, and that's high and tight. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. We appreciate all of our sponsors and everybody who has donated money for our broadcasts. If not for you all, we wouldn't have these broadcasts on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're going to try to do as many games as possible. I am not in town all the time. The ball is hit on the ground. Third base side. Going to be a bang-bang play. Here's the throw. He makes the play in time to retire Jaden Sheverton. But the Wildcats put 3 on the board. The big hit, the 2-run home run by Parker Free, and of course the stolen run at third, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 3-0. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back to Farragut High School. It'll be the catcher, Ford Bowman, the catcher for Providence Knights. And Braylon's pitch is a little bit high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ankle replacement surgery? Wow. Okay. I'm sorry, Mike. The ball is hit on the ground to the shortstop. Jaden fields it, throws on the first in time for out number 1. Ball was hit, but a nice play out there by Jaden Sheverton.
I've been very impressed with the hands of Jaden coming in on the ball, getting rid of it quick, and had a little bit of a bobble. Didn't panic, and made a great throw to first base.
You got a very young middle infield. You got 2 sophomores playing the middle infield positions, and those are. The ball comes at you pretty hard at third, but those middle infield positions are crucial to the success of any teams. That ball is hit deep to right field, but not too deep. I thought it was deep. I got fooled by the bat. It was caught by Whit Reniger out there. I got fooled by the sound of the bat. But back to my point here, you got to have kind of strong players up the middle, and got 2 young guys playing for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, it bodes well, not just for this year, obviously talented ball players, but also for the future as well.
2 outs now here in the second, 3-0. The Wildcats have the lead. I've neglected my scorekeeping.
At the plate for the Knights, number 7, Noah Phillips.
Noah Phillips is the batter. Pitch to the plate is swinging strike. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Parker Free hit a home run earlier. It was a 2-run shot. You didn't see it. We had some technical issues. There's a swinging strikeout. The freshman Braylon Payne picks up a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down. Big Mike Friels, ankle replacement surgery. That's why you're not here to watch your grandson, but he's looked pretty good here in the first 2 innings of work in his first varsity games as a pitcher. 3-0 Wildcats. We'll take another break. We'll hold it right here. Caleb, you have anything going on the chat?
All right, thank you, David. I do. I got Deanna Fagan watching from Texas right now. One of our sponsors, I'm pretty certain. And I don't know what she was saying was true, but I'm assuming it was. So that's our only commenter so far, David, but we're happy to have you watching.
And we'd like to know where you're watching, if you possibly are watching us from some cool place. We always have a viewer from Boise, Idaho. We have viewers from Guam and all over the place. Monday at 2 o'clock Central Time, the Wildcats will be in Gulf Shores. They'll be taking on North Little Rock High School out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Then on Tuesday, they'll take on an Alabama team, Fairhope High School. That will be at Fairhope. Then on Wednesday at 11:30 Central Time, we'll have a doubleheader. It'll be at Foley High School taking on Guntersville and Shades Valley. That is in Alabama. And then hopefully the semifinals and the finals on Thursday, and that'll be in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And we'll have the broadcasts of all the ball games. And we look forward to that trip each and every year. Wildcats won the tournament a year ago down in Alabama, and it's a good time for the team to bond, to be in hotel rooms, get a chance to go to the beach, and just play some baseball.
Yeah, sometimes you always love to play those types of trips, but just traveling down, staying in a hotel, going out doing activities in between games, it's always one of the funnest parts of just the camaraderie that you build being a part of a team.
Oh, first pitch to Max, and he probably wishes he might be back in Guam right now because he got popped. But it's a good start for the Wildcats. And Max Origi, our catcher, as like I said earlier, it's the first time I've seen him play catcher this year. Parker or Kipton Fagan have been primarily our catchers as Max is aboard. And let's see if he's got a courtesy runner. I do believe he does. And the batter now will be Whit Reniger. Whit steps in. He once again draws a throw. I believe that is that Kipton over there. All right. Making sure, yes, Kipton Fagan. Kipton's the base runner at first for the Wildcats, so just in time for his grandparents to watch down in Texas as that pitch is outside a ball to Whit. Whit got a chance to play a little bit in the first ball game. Didn't get a at bat. Maybe I should quit doing radio here. Kind of struggling with my words, but it's been a lot of baseball the last few days. We started, we had the game yesterday against Leesburg, Florida, and we also played Hardin Valley the other night at Hardin Valley. Kipton takes his lead off of first. He's going. The pitch is, here's the throw, and Kipton is going to be in there with a stolen base. Kipton is a member of our crew, helped us out in basketball. Good kid. His brother Carson Fagan, the senior. Kipton is a sophomore. Will be battling with Brody Sparks this year for a starting quarterback position for the Wildcat football team. He was our backup. And Mike Kelly, kicking coach, says he'll be our starting punter. Oh, great bunt. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to be a base hit for the Wildcats. Great bunt there by Whit Reniger. And that is a base hit. And the Wildcats have him on the corners. Really nice bunt. Just kind of deadening the pitcher as he made his approach. lost his footing, but I don't think he was going to get him anyway.
Yeah, just a perfect execution bunt right there, right down the third base line, just in that no man's land between catcher, pitcher, and third base.
Wildcats have him on the corners now as Kipton went all the way around to third. Back to the top of the order, we go to Warren East. He lined out to center his first time, and the runner's going from first. No throw, and it's a stolen base for Witt. The Wildcats have 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out here in the second inning, with Oak Ridge on top 3-0. Wildcats in the latest poll, I think we're number 4 in the state, I do believe. Wildcats 10-1 on the year. Warren steps in. Warren reached base safely a couple times in the first ball game. He hits that ball to shallow center field. The right fielder makes the catch, faking the tag, and not coming in to score was Kipton Fagan. That's out number 1. So Warren, a couple fly outs, this time to right field. The batter now will be Brooks Poteet.
Yeah, put a good swing on it, just got underneath it just a tick, but just not deep enough to score the runner from third base.
Brooks bats here. He walked his first time, stole a base. He'll be followed by Mikey Teasley in the Wildcat lineup. 2 runners in scoring position for the Wildcats, leading 3-0. There's a pitch on the outside half of the plate, but called a ball, and the count is 1-0. Yeah, the Wildcats' next ball game will be Monday against North Little Rock out of Arkansas at Gulf Shores. I remember the setup there last year. Maybe we'll try to do 3 cameras, maybe 4. Why not? The pitch to the plate is about the same place it was the previous pitch, but that one called a strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As an umpire, all you want is consistency.
Yeah, as a hitter, even if they're calling outside the zone, you just want them to be consistent. And that way you can adjust throughout the course of the game if needed.
Swung on and missed. Brooks behind in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inning started. Max Origi, our catcher, got hit by a pitch. His runner is at third currently. Whit Reniger laid down an infield single on a bunt, and they're still out there with 1 out. The left-handed hitting Brooks Poteet. The pitch to him is hit foul off to the left side and out of play. The infield is in. They're anticipating a low-scoring ball game. You don't usually bring your infield in the second inning, but I think they're figuring it's going to be one of those low-scoring affairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Teasley on deck. You know, Brooks's brother is in the Cubs organization as a catcher. As that pitch is low and inside. And he's in the Cubs organization in spring training right now. And I guess they're about to break camp to see. Be nice if he came to Knoxville. That way his family and friends can see him play.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Kipton Fagan with a runner at third. Runner at second. Whit Reniger. The pitch to Brooks. Hit in the air, left side. See if it's deep enough. It's the left fielder making a good read on it, and he is going to hold him and not a bad decision because the ball was in shallow left field, and he displayed a good arm, and it's out number 2, and it's up to Mikey Teasley.
Yeah, just another ball just underneath it just a little bit. And, with the infield in like that, you just want to try to hit it hard somewhere. A lot of times when the infield's in like that, you can poke one through the infield. Just got underneath it just a hair.
Mikey bats here with 2 outs. Runners still at second and third. 3-0 Wildcats as they bat here in the second. The pitch ripped to center field. The center fielder back on it, though. He's under it and makes the catch for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a couple base runners. They leave them stranded. We go to the top of the third inning, live from Farragut High School. My name is David Cleary, along with Caleb Riker. We've got Jeff Huckabee and Mike Kelly up here. The Wildcats on top, 3-0. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. He'll be the lower third of the Providence Academy, lower two. Marcus Stein, the right fielder. He's the number 8 hitter. Then he'll be followed by Hudson Berry, then back to the top of the order. Braylon Payne has gone through the first 2 innings, his first 2 varsity innings pitching for the Wildcats, and he's done a pretty good job to this point. Throws a strike on the first one to the right fielder, Marcus Stein. Braylon comes to the plate. He bunts it right back to the pitcher. He fields it cleanly, takes his time, and throws on the first. And there's a big collision between Joseph and Stein. Hopefully he's okay. It's out number 1. While we have a moment here, it gives me an opportunity to run down. Hopefully he's okay. This injury timeout is brought to you by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. Appreciate our sponsors all season long. Of course, we have Laurel Lane Green with State Farm Insurance. We have Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, East Tennessee Spine and Sport. We also have Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. And the Wildcats currently, as they tend to the young man at first. Jeff?
Yeah, really impressed with Braylon just pitching so far in this game, his first varsity start.
Nice round of applause. I'm sorry. Nice round of applause for the injured, hopefully not too injured, Marcus Stein, as he collided. And, I don't know. I'll talk to Caleb here for a second. Joseph Webb's a big guy. I mean, he is stout. He is muscular, and I wouldn't want to run into him.
Absolutely not, David. I mean, he looks the part of a Vanderbilt commit. I mean, he's one of the most athletic people I think I've ever seen in high school. Like, that guy is built. So, understandably, he's coming out of the game now.
Yeah, I know Coach Rang would probably like to have him on the football field, but probably Vanderbilt baseball doesn't want him to be playing football. Mike, would you like to see Joseph play football for the Wildcats next year?
100%.
Like I said, I doubt Vanderbilt baseball, where he's committed to play, probably does not want him to play football. Here comes Hudson Berry. He's the third baseman for the Knights. Pitch to him is on the inside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1. Well, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'll say what Mike just said a moment ago. Well, Mike, I'll just let you say it. I don't want to be responsible.
No, I just said I fully believe that Mikey Teasley would be all-state linebacker if he stayed with football as well.
Yeah, he really was a ball hawk, if I remember him when he plays. That ball is hit foul back our way and out of play. Of course, Mikey, our third baseman, has already signed with the University of Tennessee to play ball, and our first baseman is committed to Vanderbilt. So we've got 2 SEC guys across the diamond from one another, and 2 sophomores on the middle infield. Left fielder's going to Kennesaw State. The center fielder's going to Youngstown State. And I'm not sure where Brooks is only a junior. He hasn't committed to anybody as of yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody aboard. The pitch, a little bit outside, maybe a little too inside, as it's going to be a ball. And the count is 1-2.
Just a bit inside as the ball drifted behind him.
Max DeRigi's our catcher today. As I mentioned, he's from Guam. Interesting character. I can't wait to interview him, talk to him about his experiences down there. Cut on and missed, and foul tipped into the mid of Max. And that is a strikeout. And that for Braylon is strikeout number 3, I do believe. And back to the top of the order we go to Port Conger. Was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Very seldom you see a freshman. I guess this is a really good team we're playing here today. Very seldom you see a freshman look as poised, as you said this in the first inning, as Braylon is right now.
Yeah, he's attacking the hitters. A lot of times what you'll see with a young freshman, sophomore getting their first opportunity in varsity, sometimes they shy away from contact. They don't want to give up a hit. And he's going after them, challenging the hitters with a fastball and a foul ball right there. Now it's 0-2. And only thing, he's just on a couple curveballs, hasn't gotten his elbow up, maybe rushing a little bit, getting his elbow out in front of his hand. sometimes you push through the ball instead of getting on top of it. But outside of that, man, he looks good. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known he was a freshman.
Ball's hit foul off to the left side. Between the innings, I actually want to talk to you about, I know you got a chance to coach Big Mike Teasley when he was in high school. I want to talk about what kind of a player he was. I remember myself as 2-strike pitch is a little bit high, and the count is 1-2. We'll do that between innings. We'll have a little bit more time. Caleb, you got anything going on the chat? Nothing at all? He's checking it. Got a little sunburn on the neck there. Ball's hit in the right field. The way when Witt kind of looked at it first, I thought maybe he was going to be able to make a play, but it's a solid single, and that is, I believe, the first hit of the ball game for the Knights. Of course, the Wildcats yesterday had a combined no-hitter against Leesburg, Florida, with Isaiah Wilson getting the win. Good to see Cam Welch pitch his first inning of work, and then Dylan Skeens came in, and it's a combined no-hitter for the Wildcats yesterday against a team from Florida. This is a Florida team too, but this team gave Farragut a little bit of a run last night. I don't know how long they've been here. Of course, you look out in that outfield, you see all those state championships that Farragut has won. They've just had some great talent come through this program, some great coaching. It's a beautiful facility, big lead, and chases him back to the bag.
Honestly, it makes me sick, Dave. Just to be honest, they were obviously one of our, them, Central, Clinton, and some others, our big rivalry.
Ball's hit deep to left field. The left fielder Parker Freeze under it, though. He makes the play for out number 3. The Knights pick up their first hit, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. We're at Farragut High School, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge. Lead 3-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Oh, no, we're going to stay here. We're going to stay with Jeff. I was going to talk to you about you coached Mikey Teasley's dad, Michael Teasley, who also was a football guy. What kind of a player was he?
He was a third baseman, linebacker, if I remember correctly, and just played third base and was a great defensive third baseman, and then was a really good hitter for us back in 2001.
That's a long time ago. So what were the years that you helped coach?
2001 and 2002 with Coach Tom Froning and Coach Mark Garrison.
Yeah, two really good guys. Coach Froning still with the school system teaching advanced math at the high school, and I think Coach Garrison is actually retired. He was at Woodland and Jefferson. I think he's retired. Making that drive from Fountain City every day had to be tough.
He's working for the Smokies now.
Oh, he's working for the Smokies. Good for him. Caleb, you had something to say?
Yeah, I take Coach Froning's class, actually, so I remember him talking about he was a baseball coach here, and that's why he came here originally, but he loves it now, just teaching, so he was a track coach my freshman year too.
Yeah, he got drafted actually and played a little minor league ball, didn't advance. I think maybe to AA maybe was the highest he got. Really good guy. Had 3 daughters go through the program, mainly cross country, and I always, this is my theory, and I don't. Do you have any daughters?
No, just 2 sons.
2 sons. Okay, so here's my theory. Coach Garrison, daughters. Coach Froning, daughters. Never got a chance to coach their own players on the field. And Coach Free is living the dream right now. He's got his son who is stepping up to the plate conveniently right now for this broadcast to bat here. And Parker in his last time, nobody saw it, but it was a long homer in the left field. But Coach Free's got to be living a dream. Good baseball team, and his son is just really, really good athlete.
Yeah, really good hitter. I'm glad he's going to Kennesaw State. But having coached both of my sons in multiple sports, and actually got a chance to coach my oldest son, Wyatt, who's actually here at the game. He was actually my wife's belly when Michael Teasley was playing baseball. And he actually held him as a baby because he actually is a April baby. So, we didn't plan that out too well, and had our first kid in the middle of my first season, helping coach the Wildcats.
Mike Kelly, your cousin, is also living a dream. His son is a diehard music guy, just like Mike, and they share a love, maybe not of sports the same way, but music. They share a love of music, and you couldn't ask for it. And I know Like I said, Coach Free has got to be living a dream with Parker. One strike to count on him. Nobody out, nobody on. He rips the ball hard again. Home run distance, but well foul. Parker seeing the ball well in this ball game number 2. And I talked to Parker after the game yesterday, and the Hardin Valley game, he actually went over 3, which is rare. He has been so consistent all season long for the Wildcats, and I could tell that last at bat in the Hardin Valley game, he was frustrated with himself. He comes out yesterday, he's 3 for 3, and he didn't get on except once in the first game, and if he doesn't get 2 hits or 3 hits a ball game, he feels like he's cheated himself and the team. He's just that kind of as Coach Free would say, he's a dog, and he talks about his own son that way.
Yeah, it's you could see that with his swing and just the way that he competes. Just what I've seen here in these 2 games here, and you want that out of a hitter, And but as a hitter, you also have to know, sometimes you can do everything perfectly and line out to somebody, and you can do that 4 or 5 times in a game, and you just can't allow that to get you too far down.
Reaches out for that one, fouls it back to the screen. Baseball is one of those kind of games. The other night in the Hardin Valley ball game, we out-hit them in that game. Joe Webb gave up a 2-run home run. Warren almost made a phenomenal play out in center field, which would have kept that from happening. But, it's just the way baseball is. That's what's the greatest sport there is, baseball. 1-2 pitch, ripped once again to left field. Left fielder's got it this time and makes the play. Not quite hit as hard as the first one, which was the home run into the trees, but still hit the ball well, and that's out number 1.
24, first baseman, Joe Webb.
Joe Webb's the batter now. Joe walked, stole a base, and scored a run back in the first inning. Right-handed hitter. As I mentioned, he's committed to play at Vanderbilt, and what a phenomenal program Vanderbilt's had over the last several years. He bats here from the right side. Oh, and he gets hit. Somebody says ow up there, and I agree.
Joe Webb.
And he wanders off. He's already taken out a guy out on the field here with his physique, and that time he got popped pretty good. You talk about a nice kid. Joe Webb is a really nice kid. He is kind of having to walk it off a little bit. I don't know how you walk off something to your ribs, but he's our base runner, and I would expect him. He's got good speed. I would expect him to be on the move here early as Carson steps in. Carson was hit by a pitch his first time, and he steps in batting from the right side. He and Kipton both have gotten into this ball game. Jaden Cheverton is on deck for the Wildcats. Carson, one of the few seniors on the team, as Joe draws a throw over to first, and back to the bag he goes. One out here in the 3rd inning, 3-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats beat Jefferson County 8-2 in the first game. Yesterday in this tournament, beat Leesburg, Florida 14-1 in a combined no-hitter. Joe's going, and that's an easy stolen base. He got a great jump, and the catcher didn't even bother.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're a base runner, particularly if you really study what the pitcher's doing, I would say 99% of the time you can steal on the pitcher versus the catcher, and it was obvious there. He got an incredible jump.
Carson squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Our producer today is Caleb Riker. He's done the scoreboard. You like the new scoreboard better?
It's definitely harder, but I can see why everybody else would definitely like it a whole lot more. It's really in-depth.
Carson Fagan, 2 balls and no strikes. Joe Webb, the base runner at second, and he throws it back to him. Joe was maybe a half a foot off the bag at second base, but keeping him honest out at second. He's liable to go to third. I mean, Coach Free, he loves to run. He's aggressive.
Yeah, I think the pitcher was just letting him know that he knows he's back there.
Carson back in, ahead in the count, 2-0. Cut on and missed, took something off on that one. Nice pitch.
Yeah, good pitch, and just pulled out his front shoulder just a little bit.
One out here in the 3rd inning. It's been a long day so far. Farragut played the first ball game and was defeated by Jefferson County 2-1 in a really tight, intense game. Pitch to Carson floats outside, and the count is 3-1. Farragut has game number 4 coming up against this group in front of us. Not sure who this is. They're right in front of me. I want to, well, right here in front of me. But can't, yeah. Oh, no. Here's a base hit to left field. Joe's going to get the green light. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Here comes the play at the plate. Not in time. An RBI single for Carson Fagan, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 4-0. Nice job of hitting by Carson Fagan.
Yeah, really nice at bat. Actually, the pitch before that was a really nice curveball on the outside. He just spit on it, didn't attempt it, and then put a very nice swing on that to drive in the 4th run for the Wildcats.
We're going to have a little conversation on the mound, so it gives me an opportunity to take a break here. Wildcats on top 4-0 as we broadcast here from Farragut on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll be in Gulf Shores starting Monday with ball games, and we'll hope you'll join us in Alabama. If you cannot, you can tune us in on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut. The Admirals, I guess, will be taking on Lakeway Christian after this ball game. It'll be the 4th game of the day. Farragut played in the first one. I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage. They had to get here so early. They had to come back and play in the heat of the day. But when you're hosting, I guess that's, you have to be the good host. As Carson had the RBI single, I failed it. The runner's going to third. Here comes the throw, and there's a stolen base. Have you ever seen a coach as aggressive as Coach Free is?
Yeah, thinking back, I think when I coached with Froning and Garrison, we were pretty aggressive, particularly, if you stealing second to third. Sometimes pitchers get in a routine where they'll look first, so that was something that we would always look for, and we would know that would happen. The ball got away from the catcher here. A runner didn't advance. Yeah, it's easier to steal third base than it is second base. And sometimes, if in that situation, the infielders broke in and they broke away, so he got a running lead and really stole the base pretty easily.
Jack Huckabee, remember the Wildcats? That one's a little tight. He played for the Wildcats back in the early 90s. When were your years in high school?
Graduated in 93, so
the early 90s. Yeah. Back then it was before the freshmen. You were probably at Jefferson.
That's right. Yeah, just sophomore and junior.
Ball's ripped to the gap in right center field. The right fielder can't make the play. It's off his glove. In the score will come Carson Fagan, and pulling into second is Jaden Cheverton, and the Wildcats lead by a score now of 5-0.
Yeah, just a great hit. Stayed inside the baseball and just drove it in the gap in right center field.
And the Wildcats lead at 5-0, and that is going to be the end of the night for the pitcher for the Providence Academy. We're going to take a quick break. The Wildcats on top now, 5-0, with one out here in the, I guess it's the third, or is it the third or the fourth? I've lost track. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back here at Farragut. We would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Laura Lynn Green with State Farm Insurance, the class of 1989 Oak Ridge. They're the sponsor of all strikeouts, and they want the rest of the classes to get just as involved as they are. And along with them, Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, Todd Fox and the Fox Insurance Group, East Tennessee Spine and Sport, Mike Kelly and Betsy Coleman Realty and the Fagan family sponsor us for this game. There's a pitch change, David, and he's writing stuff down, so I'm going to keep talking now. We lead the Providence Academy Knights a score of 5-0. As David is now done writing, I'm going to hand it back to him now.
Thanks a lot, Caleb. Caleb has been our producer. He'll be traveling down to Gulf Shores with us, along with the rest of our crew, Dylan Woody and Preston Fetters, we think. We think he'll be heading down there with us. We're leaving kind of early. Unfortunately, I have to work at Truist Park tomorrow from 9 to 12. So it's not exactly the way I would normally drive down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, but we're going to go down to Atlanta and cut over to Birmingham. What's that highway that goes from Atlanta to Birmingham?
I-20.
I-20, yeah. I thought it was. Right by, you go by Six Flags, I know, and it goes down.
It's always backed up. It's a terrible, terrible exit. So.
That's what we're doing tomorrow as we're heading down to Gulf Shores. Unfortunately, I mean, I love working at Truist Park, but I've got to work from 9 to 12 tomorrow. That's it. And then we're down to Gulf Shores. So I spent a lot of time down there following the Braves, and I've seen you at the Braves games a few times. I've seen Mike at the games a few times. I know being down there, it's convenient. Do you have season tickets?
We had season tickets season before COVID, but then since then it's just been, for us, a little bit harder to get to the game. Just been pretty busy, but we definitely make it to our share of games for sure.
Max DeRiggi is the batter for the Wildcats. He was hit by a pitch, and his runner, which was Kipton, stole a base while he was out there. He's playing catcher today. Wildcats on top 5-0 over Providence Academy out of Florida. Pitch to Max is a bit high. Max is not a tall guy, and I said at the first of the ball game, I've seen him play third for us this year, but this is the first time. We don't give Parker a lot of time off, but Max playing catcher. Kipton Fagan has played catcher for us as well. 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed. His family is loyal watchers down in Guam. Have you ever been to Guam?
Never have, but I'm glad to see, as a former Wildcat, I'm glad to see that Max is here. He's caught a great game so far. I really like the way that he gets low and presents the ball for the pitcher.
Throw back to second, and Jaden Cheverton, who had the double off the glove of the right fielder, is the base runner. 5-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats won the first game 8-2 over Jefferson County. Yesterday won 14-1 over Leesburg, Florida. Here's the pitch to Max, cut on and missed, and the count is 1-2. Big Mike Friels, I didn't know you had surgery. I hope we'll see you out at the ballpark. He loves watching his grandkids, and he watched his son and daughter, Allison Friels, who played basketball for Oak Ridge, and Michael Friels played football for Oak Ridge. As the ball ripped to left, that's a base hit for Max. Good job. Stop sign thrown up for Jaden Cheverton, and it's a single for Max DeRiggi, and good for him. I think that might be his first hit as a Wildcat, so it's good to see that happen here at Farragut.
Solid hit, no doubter. Great swing, compact swing. Stayed inside the baseball and drove it to left field.
So the Wildcats have him on the corners with one out. And the batter for the Wildcats now will be Whit Reniger. Whit had an infield single his first time, stole a base. Left-handed hitting shortstop and second baseman. Playing second today. Plays second most of the time. I don't know why I said shortstop. Here's a throw over to third and back to the bag. Not much of a lead for Jaden Cheverton over at third. Wildcats have Kipton Fagan running at first.
Yeah, I think that they were trying to catch the runner on first versus the runner on third right there. Sometimes you just think that they're going to go on first contact. So that was just a get me over pickoff at third base. Hopeful that they got the first baseman.
Kipton's too smart to fall for that trick as he gets back to the bag easily at first. His grandparents are listening, so I don't say anything bad about them.
Oh, no. It was nothing bad about him at all.
Kipton is your base runner at first. Left-handed hitting. Sophomore, pitch to him. And it's, I guess, a little low, maybe a little outside. And the count on the scoreboard is 1-0. Base runner is Jaden Sheverton at third base. He's a sophomore. Sophomore Whit Reniger, both starters today. He's the runner at first. And let's see if he's going on this pitch. He is. Pitch is down low. Here's the throw. It's going to bounce up there. Nobody came in. Another great job. Good job by Coach Free holding Jaden there, and the Wildcats have two in scoring position.
So different variation right there. At that time, they had the shortstop come in short of the base and cut it off halfway instead of the second baseman. Coach Free, as a third base coach, you're looking for that. So obviously told the third baseman to stay put there.
5-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats have put two on the board here in this particular inning. Kind of dragging a little bit. We've had some long games already, almost 4:45. Pitch is way outside. And the count now 2-1 to Whit Reniger. Whit's playing with a lot of confidence. Compared to last year, he got some playing time a year ago. He's playing with much more confidence this year. Started a lot of ball games for us, and he takes one at the belt for a called strike. High strike, but it's 2 strikes, 2 on. The Wildcats stranded a couple runners a couple innings ago, trying to do some more damage here. They've already put 2 on the board this inning. Warren East is on deck for the Wildcats. The infield is in once again on the grass. That pitch stays up high. It's full count.
Good eye right there. Good curveball, and probably even a borderline. Could have been called a strike right there, but it stayed a little bit high. So great job being patient right there by Whit at the plate.
3-2, 1 out, 2 on, 2 in. Providence Academy out of Florida. The pitch to Whit is hit on one hop to the first baseman. He makes the play unassisted for out number 2. Now we go back to the top of the order to Warren East. Warren is flied out to center and flied out to right. So he's officially 0 for 2 in the ballgame. I predicted he'd have 3 hits. Maybe he'll have 3 RBI right here as he steps in with 2 outs with 2 on. In a minute, I want to ask you, what kind of a big cousin was Mike Kelly growing up? I want to ask you that. We'll get that from you as that pitch to Warren is a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. You can give us a little preview of that.
Are we live right now?
We are. Okay, I understand. Warren back in. 1-0 pitch. Hit foul. Coming back our way. Very close to us. Very close. Very close. Boom. And one of the worst things, I've always thought this, one of the worst things you can do, in my opinion, if a ball is coming back, is to duck. I would much rather see it as it's coming down so it doesn't hit me.
But you have to catch it, though. If you're looking up at it and it hits you between the eyes, then that's a bad situation for you.
Well, those 2 ladies right there almost caught it, and not with their hands. Here's the pitch to Warren. That's up high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
They almost used their teeth to catch that ball, so that was almost bad.
Now, next time you guys come down to Truist Park, you can ask my crew. I made a catch on a foul ball in my area, which was spectacular, and it was right in front of my boss, too. That pitch
on video, or I don't believe you.
It probably was at the time. They've probably on the security cameras. I don't know. Maybe it was on, but I jumped up with one hand and grabbed it, and my whole crew cheered, and they all checked on me to see if I was okay, if I hadn't strained something. 3-1 pitch to Warren is called a strike on the outside half of the plate. I do work for the Braves, and this, believe it or not, would be the 12th year for me working down there. I got a chance to work with watch the world champions, and I guess that was 21, 22. Already forgotten. Warren takes one inside, and it's ball 4. Coach thought it was going to be a strike, but it almost hit him in the leg. And Warren loads the bases here, and the batter is Brooks Poteet. Brooks steps in. Let's see what he's done today. He has walked and stolen a base and lined out hard to center field. Bases loaded. Righty versus lefty. 2 outs. 2 in. Brooks trying to increase the Wildcat lead, which is at 5. That pitch is on the outside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1.
Yeah. Mr. Poteet right here just, as a hitter, you got bases loaded. Sometimes you can be too aggressive, but, that was a pitcher's pitch outside part of the plate. Great job just being patient and waiting on his pitch.
Brooks takes the ball there. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Taylor Bracker's been with me all day. We set up, came real early, got all the cameras working, and it would appear. As Brooks Poteet batting from the left side, 1-1 pitch to him is a little high and inside, and the count is 2-1 to Brooks, the transfer from Powell High School. Glad to have him. He talked about, his mother talked about how the Wildcats embraced him immediately and just became a part of the family right away, and we appreciate that. We hear that a lot. Ball's hit foul into the Oak Ridge dugout. That's one of the things, and Mike, let me talk to you about this. One of the things, you remember Garrett Giles, of course. He came to Oak Ridge, and we had Jeremiah Stevens come in. One thing that these transfers, whether they move in, and Oak Ridge has always been a transient city. There's always been people coming in and out. But one of the things that the parents and the players have said, our players and our parents in our administration, as Brooks takes the ball, bounces away, but not far enough, makes them feel at home and part of the family.
They do, for sure. I actually talked to Jeremiah's brother at spring practice today at UT. He was talking about how happy he was to have him at Oak Ridge. So that's, says a lot about our program and our school.
Yeah, Garrett Giles, who played basketball for us a couple of years, he wishes he had come earlier. Yeah. Great kids. Here's the pitch. Brooks hits the ball foul again. I think is that Kevin? I guess, is Kevin working the first base coaching box? It is. If he could take off his hat, I would recognize him. Don't tell him I said that there, Mike. It looks like we've got a storm coming in here. We might want to consider here in a second, if it does rain. Well, I might want to check the radar here. Here's the pitch. Brooks takes a walk, and that's a bases loaded walk, and that is an RBI. And Poteet walks for the second time. We'll give him an RBI on that one. Oak Ridge leads it now 6-0. North Knoxville. We're on the west side. Hopefully it'll go past us. Here's Mikey. A long one right here, and we could have close to a run rule. We're only in the third inning. Seems like we're dragging here, but there is a nasty cloud over towards Oak Ridge, to be honest with you, as Mikey steps in. Mikey on the day hits the ball in the air to right field, but not deep enough. Right fielder under it, drifting around, and makes the catch for out number 3. But the Wildcats do score 3. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 4th inning here at Farragut High School. Oak Ridge on top of Providence Academy out of Florida by a score of 5-0. I'm not going to ask you about Mike here, but I'm going to take a break. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut High School. Appreciate you watching our broadcast today on our YouTube channel. Wildcats beat Jefferson County 8-2 in the first ball game. That game's already up and available to watch on our YouTube channel as Braylon Payne begins his 4th inning of work. His first 4 innings as an Oak Ridge Wildcat pitcher. And he'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup of Providence Academy. The Wildcats leading in the ball game, 6-0. Pitch called a strike. I didn't do it on that way. Yes. It's in there someplace. One strike the count. The pitch. Hit in the air foul. Coming back our way again. And out of play. Count is 0-2. I see Will Presley is in the house today, the former Wildcat footballer, now at Miami of Ohio, his new alma mater. Hopefully he'll stay up there. Will got beat by Tennessee yesterday in basketball. That pitch is a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jonah Wolf's in the ball game now for the Wildcats. Pitch to the plate. Hit on the ground, foul off the side once again of the Oak Ridge dugout. And the count is 0-2. Jonah's playing third base now. Let's see, I don't see Mikey in the ball game. I guess Mikey's getting a little bit of a rest as that pitch is down low a ball. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's kind of brightening up a little bit over there. I don't know exactly what to do if it starts raining, to be honest with you. We've got some expensive equipment sitting out. Pitch to the plate, hit to right field. Brooks Poteet didn't get a good look at it. It's going to roll to the fence. He picks it up on the warning track and brings it in quickly to Whit Reniger. It's a leadoff double for the Knights, and they've got a runner out at second, Cam Blanton with the double. And the batter now will be Cole Blanton. Actually, it's Finn Moss. Sorry about that. Let me make sure I get the right scoring here. Right-handed hitter. Well hit ball. Ball's hit hard. Brooks wasn't able to make a good jump at it, and it rolled to the fence. Got it in quickly, though. That pitch is a called strike. That is the second hit of the ball game for the Knights. The Wildcats have out hit them 5-2 and lead it, more importantly, 6-0. Breeze picking up just a bit. Runner takes a pretty good sized lead off the bag at second. Timeout is asked for by the batter. One strike the count. Braylon working from the stretch, comes to the plate. Ball is hit foul. Is that Braylon? Do we have a new pitcher? Is that? Yeah, it is Braylon, number 12. I was afraid maybe that they had made a sneaky change on us. Jonah Wolf is playing third now. Jaden Cheverton is still at short. Whit Reniger is second. Joseph Webb is the first baseman. Max DeRiggi is the catcher. Parker's in left. Parker Free. Warren East in center. And Brooks Poteet in right. 2 strikes the count to the designated hitter, Finn Moss. He checks the runner at second. The 0-2 pitch. Cut on a missed. That's a swinging strikeout, and that is strikeout number 4 for him, for Braylon Payne. It's out number 1 here in the 4th inning, and the batter now will be the catcher.
For Providence Academy, Ford Bowman, number 12.
Ford Bowman. Ford in his first plate appearance, grounded out to short. 0 for 1. Runners going to third. Here's Max's throw.
Got the ball always with a right-handed hitter in the box right there, stepping over or behind the hitter. You always want to do really good footwork to get around, and he was quick and quick release. Got a really good arm too. Been very impressed with his catching ability behind the plate today.
Called a strike. Count 1-1. Is that correct? 1-1, 1 out, runner at third. 6-0 Wildcats. Here the ball bounces away. Bounces far enough away, but runner didn't break for the plate. Down 6 runs here. Didn't want to have the second out being thrown out at the plate, as it'll be a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Braylon Payne, freshman. As I mentioned, his first plate appearance or first pitching appearance this season in the varsity ball game. He's pitched some junior varsity ball games. You don't see a freshman pitch a lot of ball games, but when you play this many games in a row, you use what you've got. As the ball is hit on the ground, that's going to get a run in. Here's the throw on the first. Cheverton retires Bowman, but they score the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, just great play right there by the shortstop, Shepperton, and just staying low through the ball, coming through the ball, making a great play to first, and just very impressed with the pitcher being a freshman. Keeping the fastball low outside of the one hit to right field the entire through 4 innings. That was a hit by pitch. That doesn't help. We just jinxed him live on air here, but very impressed by his stuff and his composure on the mound.
So they've got a runner at first with 2 outs.
Providence Academy, number 7, Noah Phillips.
2 outs here. And Noah Phillips is the shortstop. He was the second strikeout victim by Braylon Payne back in the 2nd inning. 6-1 Wildcats. Pitch to the plate is outside. Max playing catcher today. Like I said, he's played some third base for us this year, but first time I've seen him behind the plate, giving Parker Free a little time off. He's playing left field. Got to keep Parker in the ball game. They didn't keep him in the park as he hit a 2-run home run earlier in the ball game.
I take all fault for not recording it or not being able to get it, I guess, because I didn't turn on the camera. But the screen was black whenever I tried getting it.
You didn't turn off the camera as the pitch is cut on and missed. Pearl Caleb over here, he's taking responsibility for not showing cameras. Like you said, technical things happen. Anything electronic is bound to sometimes just kind of do crazy things. 1 ball, 2 strikes, trying to get out of the 4th inning. The freshman comes to the plate. Here's the throw down, and he is out. Oh, he's safe. Good throw. Max has been right on the money with his throws, but that one is a stolen base. Good throw there. Bang, bang play at second. They've got a runner in scoring position. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Noah Phillips, the shortstop. 6-1 Wildcats. Braylon Payne checks the runner at second, comes to the plate. Thought about swinging, did not, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wildcats will be traveling down to Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Monday, taking on North Little Rock, Arkansas. We'll have the broadcast for you from Alabama. Braylon back in, has the sign from Max. The pitch inside, that's ball 4. And they've got runners at first and second. Looks like Jeremiah Ball, the pitching coach for the Wildcats, will make take a visit to the mound.
Cam Welch warming up in the bullpen.
Cam Welch getting his first action yesterday, faced 3 batters and struck all 3 out. He, of course, big rangy left-handed throwing senior, and maybe he'll come into the ball game. Caleb Rucker, who are our sponsors for our ball games today and anytime?
Thank you, David. Our sponsor would be Lauren Lane Green with State Farm Insurance, the class of 1989, sponsor of All Strikeouts, Sexton Automotive of Oak Ridge, Todd Fox and Fox Insurance Group, East Tennessee Spine and Sport, Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty, and the Fagan family watching down in Texas.
Well, I can't wait for Coach Free to come up here. He told me that Providence Academy was out of Florida. You know where they're out of? They're right up the road in Johnson City. They're local boys, and we just found that Coach Free has been saying for the last 2 days.
You've been lying to Wildcat fans all day long around the world, from Guam to Idaho.
That's true, but I blame Coach Free on that. I blame Caleb on the home run not being seen. So we're going to give blame everywhere. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. And Braylon comes to the plate, pitches on the inside half of the plate. Coach Free told me, and I don't know, Braylon, hopefully Braylon will get this out here, but he told me he was going to try to ease Cheeto in. That's Camden Welch. And, he pitched to 3 batters yesterday. That ball was hit foul back our way, coming over towards the hill and out of play, obviously. Very close to somebody. Might have hit a youngster or a young lady. Well, she's okay. She's going to deliver the ball back, maybe with some violence to throw it back hard at the batter. Nope, just going to hand it to somebody in the dugout. Oh, hopefully that person's okay. That's why you got to watch. I mean, you're coming to a baseball game, you're in harm's way. 2 strikes the count. The pitch, a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not a bad place to miss right there. 0-2, just missed, just low. Not a bad pitch at all.
Mike Sheehan's watching our ball game. I'm sure Keith Hyatt is as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Fastball comes in high and tight, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, probably not as the pitcher squeezing him a little bit on the plate, standing on top of the batter's box there, but not a bad location right there at all.
2-2 pitch. Hit in the air on the infield. Whit Reniger, the second baseman, calls for it. Under it, makes the catch for out number 3. So Braylon gives up a run, hits a batter, walks a batter, but gets out of the inning. Good job by the freshman. The Wildcats still lead it by a score of 6-1. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Wildcats on top 6-1. We'll be back to Farragut High School in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, 6-1 Wildcats. Parker Free leads things off for Oak Ridge. Parker in this game hit a 2-run home run and lined out to left field his last time. Right-handed hitting junior is committed to play at Kennesaw State. He hits the ball deep to center once again, but not deep enough. Center fielder back on it. Under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Parker hit a laser shot into the trees. Mikey's home run in the first ball game went on to Kingston Pike. This one was a tree line drive shot by Parker. Parker now with 4 home runs on the year. But he is out number 1 here in the 4th inning, and the batter now will be Joseph Webb. Joseph's been on base twice today, the Vanderbilt commit. He, walked his first time, scored a run, stole a base, was hit by a pitch, and scored a run. Right-handed hitter, pitch to him, hits the ball hard into left field. That's a base hit. Rounding first and heading back to first, we'll go Joseph Webb. Solid single for him, and Joseph coming alive here with his bat, and he's been pretty steady on the hill for the Wildcats. And his bat's coming alive, as we knew it would. And the batter now will be Carson Fagan.
Yeah, he just hit the ball too hard right there. Left fielder did a great job rounding it off, getting it back into the infield.
Carson steps in. He has reached base twice. He had a single and an RBI his first time and scored a run. He hits the ball, butts the ball up the third base line. Here's the throw. Rounding third. Nobody is covering the bag at third. Nobody came over. Beautiful bunt and great base running by Joseph Webb and great coaching by Coach Free and Coach McKeithen to keep him rounding that bag to get him to third.
Yeah, just perfectly executed bunt. In that situation right there, you're just glad to get the runner to second. But third base was vacated, and they took advantage of it. Now we've got 2 outs and a runner on third.
Cheverton, the batter now. Jayden had a double and an RBI his last time. It was off the glove of the right fielder who almost made a nice play on it. He takes a strike. Spoke to Jaden after the ball game, after the first ball game, where the Wildcats won 8-2 over Jefferson County. I'll be happy to have Sunday off here, except I've got to speak a little bit at work tomorrow. But a lot of baseball coming up, and this is our, I guess, fourth game in the last 3 days. Mike's been to all of them. Mike's been about every ball game. He's a diehard, except the rain out in McMinn County. Yeah, don't mention that word. The R word in baseball don't really mix. Jaden hits the ball to center field. It should be easily caught by the center fielder, and it is for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base hit, but they leave him stranded. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at Farragut High School. Oak Ridge on top, 6-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Oak Ridge in the bottom of the 4th. No
Welcome back once again. Looks like Cheeto is coming into pitch. You got some action on the chat here, Caleb?
Yes, I do, David, and it kind of goes back to talking about the Wildcats being a family. Carson and Kipton's family telling us about how welcome that they felt whenever they first came here. And it's just a good thing to hear whenever you're transferring here.
Yeah, one thing I've said about this, because all the government jobs that Oak Ridge has, there's a lot of people that come in to Oak Ridge from other places. I mean, it's not unusual. I've lived there my whole life, and you see people come and go, and we're used to people coming in. I mean, we don't stand off because we don't have cliques, is what I should say.
Yeah, we had back in '93, Jeff Wise, and you had Tony Johnson was a transfer in. Yeah, and we had some other ones. Pete Blair came in from Colorado, so it's always been a kind of the cool thing that sometimes you don't realize while you're in it. But Oak Ridge is just an incredible melting pot.
Cam Welch comes into the game and he hits the first guy he faces. It's good to have him back, though. He saw his first action yesterday. Faced 3 batters, struck all 3 of them out. He's a big lefty. To me. And I was telling Caleb this on the way, we've got Mikey, we've got Joe, who are solid, really good starting pitchers. And we weren't sure if Cam was going to make it back this year. And he is the 3rd starter. And if you go to the state tournament, you've got to have 3 good, solid starters. There's a throw down, and ball skips away. And it's corralled by Poteet in right field. And they've got a runner now at second. But if you've got 3 solid pitchers, and Wildcats have been to the state tournament the last couple of years, you're in pretty good shape, because it doesn't mean you're going to get to the state tournament, but if you're there and you've got 3 good starters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, you can make it into the winner's bracket and stay out of the loser's bracket. in those tournaments, and they look the part, they throw the part. Not everybody in the world gets recruited by Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and to have two guys like that on your team is special.
This guy right here is somebody that I think can play big-time ball too. He's a little bit wild today. Coach Free told me yesterday it was his first action actually throwing. He had stitches taken out of his hand, and he hasn't even been with us in the preseason. And a little wild here. He's got a 2-0 count, but he's still throwing hard. And there's a called strike on the inside half. He's got a nasty breaking pitch, but he's also got a live fastball as well. We call him Cheeto affectionately, I guess the better word. There's a called strike. I asked him one time why they called him Cheeto, and he said he was at a game or practice or sometime, and he'd just eaten a bag of Cheetos. And how if you eat Cheetos, you got orange all over your face, and that's what he's been ever since. So, 2-1 pitch, called strike 3, comes in and lowers the boom, and that is his first strikeout. He has faced now 5 batters in 2 days, and he struck out 4 of them. And batting for Providence Academy, number 25, Cam Blanton. Blanton has been on base twice. He walked, and he had the double off into right field the last time. And Cheeto's first pitch is a ball to him. That dark skies looks like it's moving out of here. Hopefully, I hope I didn't jinx us, but it looks a lot better than it did.
Yeah, it's I felt a couple raindrops, but hopefully the bulk of it stays away from us for sure.
Called strike. Caleb, you do have a little bit of red on your neck there. Not just because you're from the country, but just a little sun on the neck. You get it? Red on your neck, not because you're from the country. Yeah. Called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not to offend any of my rural fans watching our broadcast today. I do feel some rain here. I just felt a drop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm concerned about the lower camera first. Pitch is hit foul back to the screen. I don't think that's going to last too long. It is sprinkling here, cooling us off. This camera is kind of shaded a little bit by the trees, but our lower camera might be a concern as it starts to rain just a little bit harder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cam Welch, the pitcher for the Wildcats. His second outing of the season. Big lefty. We'll probably see a little action in the field. Timeout is asked for. Last year, in the last couple of years, Cam has played a little first. He's played some right field for the Wildcats. And it is raining harder for sure. I think we do have a bag in that box over there. Let's cover up the computer. We'll talk on the air. Here's that pitch is inside. Yeah, just cover it. Just with if you can. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. 6-1. The Wildcats in the lead. Pitch. Hit on the ground right back to him. He had to play at third, but he wisely gets the sure out. Ooh, not as sure as I thought it was going to be as he underhands it over to Joseph. And that is out number 2. Moving over to third was Barry. And number 5, I think this Cole Blanton comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. People are texting me. You might want to see. They're probably giving me a weather report. I've got a lot of people tell us. Not so much for me getting wet, but, when you got thousands of dollars of equipment here, just tell me what it is.
It's raining at a bunch of different people's places, so.
Okay. And Cheeto trying to get through the 5th inning here. He bunts it right back to him. He's got to play. Nope, he doesn't. He came up with it cleanly, but then on the transfer, he just couldn't hold it, and they've got their second run. So in the score comes, I guess that was Barry, and safe at first was Blanton, and it is now 6-2. Better now is Finn Moss, the designated hitter. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to center field and was a strikeout victim his last time, and he takes one outside.
I've been impressed with the arm of Cam here. He has a lot of life on his fastball. Has good break on his curveball.
Like Like I said, he hasn't pitched. This is only his second game. Here's the throw by Max. Oh, a laser, and he is safe once again. I'm telling you, his throws have been right there. I don't know that I have seen nothing against Parker, but Max has been right on it every single throw.
Well, you said that he joined from Guam in January, so shout out to his family in Guam. You can tell that he's been worked with. He's got great footwork as a catcher, quick release, exactly what you want as a catcher.
That's a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. So everybody's telling us that it is raining all over the place. It's actually kind of stopped here a bit. It's still kind of lightning in the area, and that's not even a good sign at all. As that pitch is hit foul back to the screen. They must have had a time limit on the first 2 games. For the Farragut ball game earlier, they just kind of stopped in the 6th, and they stopped the Oak Ridge Jefferson County game. We've got some coaches here in front of me. Maybe we'll ask if there is a time limit. As the Wildcats lead at 6-2, 2 outs here in the 5th. Cam Welch on the mound, getting some real work and some adversity. And like I said, he faced 3 guys yesterday and just blew them away. But he's got a little adversity going here. He's giving up a run, trying to work out, and Max is going to go out and talk to him. He's been a starter basically since his freshman year. He's played a lot of baseball for us, but Coach Free told me something yesterday. Since he hadn't had any spring conditioning, no work, he was nervous coming in, and he has started a ton of games for us.
Yeah, even as a senior, your first time out, particularly coming back from an injury, it's natural to have some butterflies for sure, but you definitely don't see that today. He's throwing pretty hard today.
2-strike pitch. The guy is, I don't think, that's not a balk. Okay, got it. Thank you. I wasn't paying attention. That's why
Stop. Yeah.
I was just watching, and he's had a few balks in his career. The umpire's telling him exactly what he did. Coach Ball's not arguing, so I wasn't watching. I just saw him trotting, and I thought, But anyway, they've got a runner at third now. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs.
He has a pitcher you have to come set, and he just didn't come set all the way, and that's what the ump told him. And that's a potentially big run on third base there. You want to go after the hitter here and get out of this jam a little bit.
Ball hit foul over towards Admiral Field, over to the right, their football facility. As I mentioned, we'll play Farragut in football at home this year at Blankenship Field. We took them to the woodshed here last year, which was just fun, always fun. And you kind of said that earlier. We
always root for that.
Yeah, that pitch is outside, and I guess that's ball 4. So Cam, a little bit wild, but like we said, he hasn't pitched a whole lot. And it wasn't ball 4. That was ball 3. So you were right on the scoreboard there. I should go with you instead of Sparky inside. He didn't believe me, but I was going off of what Sparky was saying inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's what we call him. I didn't make up that name. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I actually spoke to him before the game. He's been around the baseball team for 30 years probably. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Cam. Ball's hit in the air, right field. Brooks Poteet back to the warning trap right in front of the wall, makes the catch for out number 3. The ball was hit well, but out. The Wildcats do give up a run. They still lead it by a score of 6-2. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut High School. 6-2, I guess. The Wildcats in the lead. Max leads things off for the Wildcats. Max has been on base twice today. He was hit by a pitch. His runner, Kipton Fagan, scored a run. Last time, a solid single, so he's officially 1 for 1 in the game. Almost grazed his jersey there, and he takes it inside, and the count is 1-1. You were telling a kind of a funny story, and I agree with you. I remember those days back in the early 2000s. We would beat Farragut fairly routinely, but then as of, if you look at from 2003 on, you got a ton of state championships out there. And they've had some great coaches, some great players, a lot of transfers from all over the city. But, as Max swings through it, and that's strike 2. But Farragut is the cream of the crop in the East Tennessee for sure.
Well, they also did a good job in the early 2000s, too. Just from a travel baseball perspective, you really saw that blossom in the East Tennessee area. But just, kudos to them. It's hard to win, and it's really hard to sustain that. And they've, sustained that type of winning for a long time.
Max takes strike 3, and that's looking. That's out number 1 this inning. And I talked to Tommy Farr yesterday. He was a coach here for years, and they used to have a guy. I'm trying to think of all the coaches. Obviously, Heatherly, John Heatherly out there won several state championships. It's just a phenomenal program. Back in the early 90s, Knox Central, especially as we talked about what Todd Helton was playing back in the days, Knox Central, they had, on that one team, they had Bubba Trammell, had a pitcher named Freeman, as that ball is hit foul off to the left side. The batter for the Wildcats after Max is Whit Reniger. Central was the team back in the 90s, with, especially like I said, with Helton and Bud Bales, I think, was the coach at Central at that time. Just a state championship. They had that undefeated season. Central did back in the day with Todd Helton. Like 37-0, and that just doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah, they were, Freeman, pitched in the Blue Jays organization, but Bubba Trammell played in the major leagues, and then obviously, Helton turned out to be a Hall of Famer. They could hit, they could pitch, they could field, just a complete ball team.
It hits the ball right back to the pitcher. He feels it and throws on the first in time for out number 2. So Reniger is retired. Pitcher to first, and back to the top of the order we go to Warren East. Bud Bales was a good coach. The only thing I didn't like about Central's old field, they play at Tommy Shumpert Park now, which is a beautiful facility and a beautiful park, actually. But what I did not like about Central's old field there in Fountain City is it's a recreational park. Every corner, right field, center, and left had backstops where they would play, rec games during, so you might hit it to a backstop and left, center, and right.
If you hit the ball to center field, you could hit it 680, and it wouldn't have went over the backstop.
Except unless your name was Todd Helton and wearing number
times. Yeah.
That's out number 3 as Warren flies out to center, and that's the end of the inning. We go to the 6th inning here, and we're getting close to end. There's a time limit of 2 hours and 10 minutes. And Caleb, how long have we been playing?
1 second, David.
Okay, we've been streaming long enough.
2 hours.
Right at 2 hours. Hour and 50 minutes. So we still got about 20 more minutes to go. And we started the stream just a little bit beforehand, so we might actually be able to get this game in. Jeff, what are you doing these days?
So, live in Atlanta, and I've been over the last 20-something years. If you've seen the movie Moneyball, talk about analytics and things like that. And I've been in the analytics industry for 20 years, and about 5 years ago started my own company. We're an analytics consulting company. We build analytics software. So I've been involved in that industry for quite a while.
Your kids are out of school now?
Yeah, they are almost out of school, or definitely out of school. They're in college, and then they'll wrap that up within the next year or two. So,
well, it's always good to catch up with former Wildcats. I've seen you a couple times at Truist Park, actually maybe Turner Field too. Actually, I maybe thinking back at it, as Wildcats have the lead here, 6-2. Let's see who we got. Looks like we got a new pitcher coming into the game. Looks like Carson Fagan is in to pitch.
And I will say you asked me about Mike Kelly and joked around a little bit about that. But, yeah, very lucky to have him as a cousin. He basically was an older brother to me growing up. And, yeah, lucky to have family and friends that I have in the Oak Ridge area. So
You and I were talking about this, and anybody who knows Mike knows this. Mike might be one of the kindest people and a people person. I mean, he's got a little sharp wit to him, a little sarcasm, but he is just a phenomenal human being. He is a mentor to a lot of these kids. He's right now down talking to Will Presley, one of our great receivers who's now playing at football at the Miami of Ohio. And, you know, he what I like about it, he doesn't just keep up with them when they're at the high school. He keeps up with them after they've graduated, and he's talking to Will right now. And that's what I like about Mike, just a great guy.
Yeah, whenever he comes across you as a human, you're in his orbit from then on. And most of the time that's a good thing. He's funny, got a lot of humor. So
Carson Fagan trying to close it out here for the Wildcats. We're only in the sixth, but we're getting close to the time limit. Farragut's going to play Lakeway Christian after this game. Carson comes in. Carson has been really good. He has upped his velocity. He's always been good. He's always been a good player, but this year his velocity has really come up, and he has been throwing BBs as a relief pitcher. He's kind of taken over the role of closer. Peyton Witter, who is now playing college ball, he's gone, and he's kind of taken over that. And the ball is hit to left field. Parker calls for it. That's Parker free in left field, and he makes the catch for out number one. But you need to have a good closer. We had a great one last year, Peyton Witter. If he came into the ball game, it was over. I mean, he would come in and it was over. And you need those kind of relief pitchers.
yeah, on any level, you got to have people come out of the bullpen, throw strikes. You know, high school, college, pros. You know, we've seen that a little bit with the Braves. You know, particularly last year early on, Iglesias didn't throw a lot of strikes. And
we were at CAK yesterday, and they had a really nice poster of Spencer Strider there. Of course, he played ball at Christian Academy back in the day, and a really nice little promotion. And you know, you got to be proud to have a guy like that. You know, we've had we haven't had. Well, we were going to have Kevin Steen, but that's just the most tragic story of all time, actually. As the pitch is cut on and missed, and that's a swinging strike. Carson ahead in the count. Of course, he got drafted by the Red Sox. Had a no fault of his own, terrible accident, ended his career.
yeah, I actually coached his younger brother. I never got the chance to coach him. But Markion, his younger brother, a good kid, and you hated to see that happen to anybody. You know, but we definitely root for our home team.
I've said this before. 2 days after his accident, the ball bounces away. It's going to be 2-2. I went down to I guess it was the Tampa area where the Red Sox were, and I went to the hospital. And when I saw him with all the tubes and everything that was in him, I thought he might be done. And his leg, as that pitch is outside, his leg to me, and I described this. And Kevin, if you're watching, and I know you keep up with it, it looked like meatloaf. I mean, it was just torn apart, and he did not. It looked bad. And just for the fact that he's able to walk now, there's a swinging strikeout, and that's out number 2. The fact that he's able to walk, and, you know, at first he walked with a limp, but, you know, he got drafted by the Red Sox and was moving up in the system, but just some crazy idiot on meth crossed the center line and hit him dead on, and he's lucky he's alive, honestly. He tells a story, and I'll tell this real quick. He was trapped in his car. He had a big SUV. He was trapped in his car. Hey, Will Presley. Hey, Will. Hey. Okay. Pitch is hit foul back to the screen. But he said he was trapped, and the car was on fire, and he could feel the heat. And he was scared to death, obviously, before they got him out of that car. No balls and 2 strikes. Trying to go 1-2-3 is big Carson Fagan. Cut on and missed, and there he does it. 1-2-3 go the Knights here in the top of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Wildcats on top 6-2. We're getting close to the end of this one. The Wildcats trying to sweep this doubleheader. Are you going to get a chance to see the Cats play anymore?
not on this trip, but I'm hopeful to come back and watch a game at Bobby Hopkins. I figured it out the other night. Haven't been able to come back and see a game at home in 15 years, which that's a long, long time. So I definitely want to try to make it back. May have some actually work in the area, and if so, I'll definitely come and see a game. So I miss the place.
Bobby Hopkins that you played in and I played in does not exist anymore. It looks totally different. They've made some great improvements. The only thing, the remnants of that old Pioneers team back from the 50s, the semi-pro team, is the old, what used to be your all's dressing room area. It's still there. It's still there. The old restrooms are now a shed for Joe's lawnmowers, basically. But the dugouts are totally different. The backstop. Joe Macy's still around.
But Joe Mason better be listening. Yeah, Mr. Mason, hope you're doing well. I used to live down the road from him, so Joe and I would catch up every couple years. Just couldn't ask for a better supporter of kids, baseball, and just a great human being.
I don't think he'd be too upset if I say this. He's in his upper 80s, and he still comes out to the ballpark all the time. He loves baseball. His son played for the Wildcats. I think went on to play at Tennessee Tech. As that pitch is a called strike, leadoff man for the Wildcats. I believe it was Andy Hudson leading things off, I believe. And he hits the ball to center field pretty deep, but not deep enough. And that is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. So Andy flies out. Andy had a hit yesterday in the 14-1 victory. Now batting for the Wildcats is Jonah Wolf. Jonah came in to play third for Mikey Teasley in the previous inning. Jonah played yesterday, the last couple of ball games. Wildcats trying to win their 11th game of the year. Wildcats are 10-1 coming into this one. They'll head to Gulf Shores tomorrow. They'll head down there. Their first game is Monday against North Little Rock. Pitch to Jonah is, I guess, a little bit low. And so they were the tournament champions a year ago down at this tournament and trying to repeat. Of course, it's hard to – baseball is a different kind of sport, but, the Wildcats have been to the state tournament the last couple of years trying to make it a three-peat. Of course, Mikey Teasley was Mr. Baseball last year in 4A, and they got all the pieces to get back to the state tournament, but it never can take it for granted. I mean, there's some teams and players that can play their entire lives and never get a chance to go down to Murfreesboro, and the Wildcats have been 2 years in a row. As the pitch is hit well to center field again, back on a little bit deeper this time. Jonah hit it well, but out.
Yeah, it's the beautiful thing about baseball and the absolutely ugly thing about baseball is, anything can happen on a given day, and any team can beat any team on a given day. So you really have to have that consistency of execution and showing up every day.
Prime example is Thursday when we faced just a really good pitcher at Hardin Valley who just shut us down. Parker Freeze, the batter. Parker, let's see, he has flown out the last 2 times, hit a 2-run home run, which only us people here at Farragut got a chance to see. He rips one to center this time. It is going to be caught on a line, and that is out number 3. So we go to, let's see if this one's over. I see no movement from the umpires. He checks his watch. Parker is out, and 6-2 is our score. Looks like we've got a little bit more time before Farragut takes on Lakeway Christian. So the Wildcats are going to take to the field. Caleb, once again, I'm going to thank you for a job well done. I mean, you have been producing, you've been running our scoreboard, you've been doing everything asked for by me. After 4 years, it's about time.
That caught me off guard, but I'm trying right now. It's getting a little harder at the end. I'm getting a little tired, but it's been a long day. We've been here since we left at around 10:30 and got here around, I guess 10:50, and now it's 5:30. So I've been with you all day.
It could be worse. It could be worse. You could be with
Vashon. So yeah, that would be a lot worse. He's fat and would eat all the food around me and eat my snack cabinet.
Wildcats trying to close it out. Looks like, is it Carson going to be out there again? Let's see. It's number 5. It is. Carson's going to try to close it out here, and we're trying to come home with our 11th win and sweep a doubleheader, which is hard to do. The Braves never did it for years. I mean, and usually they won the first game and they throw Vashawn Knowles out there in the second game. So,
All right. So while we got a few minutes here, a few seconds, what's your prediction for the Braves this year?
they have been really good in spring training. They have the best spring training record in baseball right now. That doesn't mean anything, because we've won a lot of games with a bunch of people I've never heard of as well. But I think they're going to have a lot of good bounce-back seasons from Austin. Hopefully Ozzie Albies is going to have a bounce-back season. And if we can keep our pitchers healthy, I think the Braves will be in good shape.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if Ozzie's healthy, Austin Riley's healthy, Baldwin is an incredible hitter. Young stud. Acuna stays healthy. I think we're going to have a pretty good team.
Carson looked pretty good. He's been calling that pretty consistently a strike, but not that time. And Carson behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. There's a call. Oh, no. Is he squeezing the strike zone all of a sudden? That was right down Kingston Pike.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Maybe
Number 20, Hudson Berry.
Hudson Berry is the batter. It's a walk. 6-2 Oak Ridge. Runner at first. Joe Webb still playing first base for the Wildcats. Whit Renninger is at second. That's a little bit low, yeah, but all of a sudden the strike zone is being squeezed a little bit. I mean, he was strike zone was bigger. We're trying to get out of here, get Farragut and Lakeway Christian playing here. The time limit is running down. Bounced up there, and Carson a little bit out of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's see. Jaden Cheverton still playing out at shortstop, and Jonah Wolf is the third baseman. Parker Free is in left. Warren East in center. And here comes Jeremiah Ball. He's the pitching coach for the Wildcats. Came down with Coach Free. He's from Upper East Tennessee. Played a little college ball, and he's been with Coach Free. I'm not sure what he does for a living, but I know he's not a teacher at the school, but he came down here just to look for a job and be with Coach Free.
That's awesome. Yeah, Coach Free's obviously done an incredible job at Oak Ridge, and really put Oak Ridge baseball on the map on a consistent basis, which is awesome to see as a alumnus of Oak Ridge.
It runs in cycles. I've said this for years. I know, Oak Ridge has honestly never been a big powerhouse in baseball. I mean, it's really the only male sport at Oak Ridge High School that's never won a state championship. It's the only male sport at Oak Ridge High School. All the others have. Okay, that camera died. We'll just go with the top view. It's getting late. Runner going. Here's the throw by Max. This one is not in time, and that's a stolen base. I think one of the advantages, and I've said this, and I've never really said it publicly, but I will. I think one of the advantages Coach Free has had over the last 2 coaches, and I kind of said this earlier, but I didn't say it. Let me get this Carson pitch in here. It's a little bit low, and we've got somebody warming up. It doesn't usually work 2 innings. He's usually kind of a 1-inning guy, but he's been asked to close it out here. But 3-1 pitch, 6-2 Oak Ridge. I know Coach Free won't stay with him too long. Coach Free has had the opportunity to coach his son and coach a lot of different players around this area, and a lot of those players have moved from where they have come from to come play at Oak Ridge. And that has been an advantage that Coach Free had, that Coach Froning and Coach Garrison did not have, to be honest with you. 3-2 pitch. That's another walk. And Coach Free all over the umpire. And I agree, all of a sudden the strike zone has gotten narrower. His strike zone has gotten really, really narrow. And I can't yell loud enough for him to hear it, because I've done 2 ball games today as they've got runners at.
Coach Free's taking care of that for you right now out of the dugout.
Here's Carson's pitch. He squares the button, fouls it into Max's mitt, and then the count is 0-1. 6-2, a 4-run lead for the Wildcats, trying to close it down. This will be it. This is the last at bat of the game for Providence Academy, as the time limit has been reached. Wildcats won the first game 8-2. Ball's hit well to center. Warren East back on it. He's got it. He's under it and makes the catch. He tags the runner from second, Most on to third, and they've got him on the corners with one out. But it's an out, and they've got 2 more to go, and the Wildcats will win.
That was the right play right there. You always want to control second base. You don't want to make that long throw to third base. Highly unlikely that he would have gotten him out at all. And if you make that throw, then you take away the double play. So good decision right there to hit the cutoff man.
One out here in the 6th inning. Cam Blanton is the batter. Let's see what Cam has done. Cam's been on base a couple times today. He's 2 for 3, actually. Yeah, I'd have walked that first time. Can't read my own writing. Throw over to first, and that's close. Bang, bang at first. Joe puts the tag on him, but he got back.
That was a good move right there. You want to keep him close. You want to try to keep the double play intact right here. One ground ball gets you out of the ball game.
Pitch to the plate is evidently a little bit low. Like I said, all of a sudden the strike zone has gotten very, very narrow. Carson trying to close it out here. The Knights trying to rally here in the final inning.
Yeah, that strike right there was what Braylon was getting called consistently, and he was pounding the zone low. And, yeah, that has definitely changed here in the last 2 innings.
That pitch was a called strike, evens the count at 1-1 strike. We'll have off tomorrow, which is good. We'll back in action on Monday from Orange Beach. Pitch, hit foul, back out of play. Hit something back there. Luckily, unfortunately, I should say, we got here, Farragut was playing, and we're parked all the way in the school parking lot, way back up the hill. Caleb, are you looking forward to hauling it all back up? He says no. Here's the strike pitch. It's hit to right field. Brooks Poteet's under it. He makes the catch for the out. Here comes Brooks's throw. It's right on the money, but he's safe. Sacrifice fly and RBI, but a really nice throw by Brooks Poteet.
Yeah, that was a great throw. I actually didn't think he had a chance at first to get him. That ball just exploded out of his hand. Just great throw. Almost got him. Bang, bang play at home.
Good news is that's the second out in the inning, and they're 1 out away from a victory here.
Well, and also, too, he threw it low enough that the runner on first base had to stay there because, Joe's a big guy, and he threw it right through his head and threw it all the way home. So great throw.
First pitch is a ball outside. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. The Wildcats on top 6-3. Providence Academy out of Johnson City, Tennessee. Home of the Hilltoppers, but you all don't care about that, do you? No, not really at all. So, I've had relatives from Johnson City. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Don't want to put him on. Carson trying to close it out right here. There's a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. You don't want to put the tying run to the plate. And Carson Fagan trying to earn a save here. Get the victory for the Wildcat hurler. Braylon Payne, his first varsity win. Trying to nail it down for him. Carson comes to the plate. Hit well. Right fielder Poteet's under it, though. He makes the catch for out number 3, and that is your ball game. The Wildcats have won by a final score of 6-3 over the Providence Academy Knights. Ball was hit hard, but the Wildcat outfielders up to the task, and Oak Ridge sweeps the doubleheader here at Farragut today.
Yeah, great read right there. Good job coming in, throwing strikes, and, escaping with a win.
Let's see. We lost our one camera, but that's okay. The game is over. Run down. Wildcats won both. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Wildcats win both games today. They knock off Jefferson County 8-2. Jackson Gary was the winning pitcher today. Braylon Payne gets the win, and Carson Fagan gets the save. Good wins. It's 2 really good ball teams. Providence Academy and Jefferson County, and Oak Ridge comes away with the victories of both games.
Yeah, Braylon, being a freshman coming in, first varsity start, looked great. I mean, Coach Free's going to have confidence in him. You talked about having 3 pitchers at the state tournament. I think they've definitely got a 4th. We've seen a 5th out of Cheeto. That looks good. It's always good to be able to add arms throughout the course of the season.
6-3 the final score. Some of the individual totals here. Warren East walked one time. The only time he got on base, but he had a good first ball game. Brooks Poteet walked twice, picked up a stolen base, and picked up an RBI. Mikey Teasley, 0 for 3 in the ball game today. Parker Free had a 2-run home run and was 1 for 4 in the ball game. Joe Webb reached base 3 times, a walk, hit by a pitch, and a single, scored 2 runs for the Wildcats. Carson Fagan hit by a pitch, had a single and an RBI, scored a run, and also had a sacrifice. Jaden Cheverton had a double and an RBI. He was 1 for 3 in the ball game. Max DeRigi, good job at the plate and behind the plate for the Wildcats. Reached base twice, hit by a pitch, and had a single as well. Kipton Fagan scored a run running for Max. Whit Reniger also got on base once. He singled and stole a base. The winning pitcher, as I mentioned, is Braylon Payne. The Wildcats are now 11-1 on the year as we wait for Coach Free to join us up here. I feel another sprinkle here. Looks like we might escape without much damage. It takes us about 3 hours to break down all this stuff, but it's a good day of baseball for the Wildcats.
Well, I just want to say, while we wait on Coach Free to get up here, too, just as a former player and, citizen of Oak Ridge, I'll speak. I know that we've got I've got 2 special people at Thayer Lane that listen to you every time that you broadcast, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, and there's a lot of people that do that. And for you to work at Truist Park in Atlanta and then come and you hardly miss, and that's incredible. I was able to grow up listening to John Ward. You're our John Ward, and just you've done an incredible job for so long. It's an honor to get to sit next to you and do this. And when I told you that I wanted to do this, that it was a bucket list item, that wasn't me just trying to placate your you don't have any ego, not at all. And but I've always wanted to do this, and so for you to allow me to do that, and just thank you.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. You added a great deal. It kept me from talking as much, and it's always good to talk to former Wildcats who I remember and called your name out when you were playing way back in the day. And
you mentioned Coach Glover. He brought me up. Kind of like what we saw with Braylon Day. I got caught up last game as a sophomore, went 1 for 1, and I remember you were walking out after the game, after we broke down and raked the field and everything, and you said, "Hey, congratulations, you led the team in hitting. You hit 1,000," because I went 1 for 1. I don't know if you, and I'm sure you don't remember that, but I remember that vividly, and I was like, "Holy crap, I did hit 1,000!" And that was the first and last time I was ever close to that. So
was that 91?
That would have been in 91. Yeah.
Wow. So we're talking 25 years ago and 30, 25 years ago. Yeah. Wow. That's a long time ago. Well, no longer than that. That's 35 years ago. 35 years ago.
We'll call it 25 just to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah. Coach Frunning would be not proud of me. I didn't have him as a math teacher. He probably wasn't bored when I was going math. But Wildcats win both ball games, 6-3 the final score. Good job pitching by everybody in the first game for sure. And the Wildcats got a chance to get a lot of looks at Jackson Gary, who pitched well in the first game. Got the victory. Jaden Cheverton pitched in the first ball game. And Tri Sharp and others pitched, and it's just a good day of baseball. We wait to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. You might send somebody up, a player, to talk to me as well. We'll take a break here. We've been talking a while here, Caleb, and I appreciate your good work, and Jeff Huckabee as well. We'll take a break. The Wildcats win 6-3 over Providence Academy, and they win 8-2 over Jefferson County. We'll be back with our rest of our postgame show, and we'll wrap it up from Farragut right after this. Welcome back once again to Farragut High School, where the Wildcats have swept a doubleheader. Let's see, we're going to have an interview, looks like. Let's turn the camera on him. We've got a freshman. You might want to step back. You're tall. Got Braylon Payne here, the winning pitcher in the ball game, and I know your grandfather's watching for sure. I didn't know that he had some ankle surgery, so he wouldn't be here. But Braylon, you and I have talked before, but you got to feel pretty good. You get your first varsity win.
Yes, sir, for sure. It was a great game. We played great.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, as a freshman, were you nervous? I know you've played some JV ball games, but you're playing on a big field here at Farragut against a pretty good team out of Johnson City. We thought they were from Florida, but they're from Johnson City, actually. But were you nervous coming into the game?
A little bit of nerves, mostly excitement. We got a really good defense behind me, so not many nerves.
What was working well for you today?
The fastball, I was able to locate that pretty well, and then my curveball was there and my changeup was there, so everything.
Yeah, you didn't get to work with Parker, but I thought Max did a great job behind the plate. He's not a very big guy, but he framed the ball really well. He's got a really laser arm, too. What's it like working with those two guys?
It's great. They helped me a lot, especially Parker and Max. They both give me confidence to go out there and throw it well.
Tell me about the team here. I know they've been to the state tournament 2 years in a row. You're a freshman. You're going to get a chance, hopefully, to get back. How far can this team go, in your opinion?
I think we can make it all the way and win it, for sure.
You know, with Camden Welch coming back as perhaps the third starter, you know, he was the number 2 guy. You've got 3 really good starting pitchers with a lot of experience. You've got yourself who's coming on. You've got, Jackson's pitched well. Just about everybody we've brought in is pitched well. So you're really deep. Talk about how important it is to be so deep in the pitching.
Being deep in pitching is very important, especially somebody can be off one day and then you know you have another guy you can go to.
So you're going down to Gulf Shores. Are you a part of that trip?
Yes, sir.
So you think you'll get a chance to play down there?
Yes, he just told me I'll go one of the games.
Well, just your final comments about how important it is for this team to keep on a roll.
It's very important. As long as we keep playing together, keep having good energy in the games, I think we can make it all the way.
One more question. How can you be friends with Oliver Poggle? How is that possible?
He's a great guy. I like him. I like him a lot.
Just kidding. He's part of our crew. Braylon, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
That's Braylon Payne, freshman member of the Wildcats. Let's see if we get Coach Free up here. Let's see. I don't see him. He's still talking. The Wildcats have won both games. The first game, they won 8-2 over Jefferson County. The second game was a 6-3 victory here tonight over Providence Academy. That is an ugly cloud towards Maryville, and it's getting a little darker towards Oak Ridge. So I hope Coach Free will hurry up here so we can close out this ball game, this broadcast of this ball game. But Caleb, once again, I appreciate seriously the job you did. It is not easy to do everything you did today. Usually we have 2 people doing what you did today. You ran the scoreboard, which is our really nice scoreboard. I like that scoreboard better than the one that's to the bottom of the screen. And you ran the camera up here. You control the camera down below. You switched back and forth. You talked a little bit. And we won't mention Parker's home run.
Thank you for not mentioning it there, but that one hurts. I feel really bad about that. It's just a little bit of a technical issue, but yeah, no, it's pretty hard with the scoreboard especially. It's my first time doing that, so I apologize. There were a couple of moments where I had got behind just trying to move the camera around and get the best shot for you guys watching. But yeah, it was pretty fun. 2 big wins for the Wildcats here today, which is always a great thing, David.
Coach Free is talking with Will Presley. And boy, that could be the rest of the day here with the way Will likes to talk. And here comes he is on his way. So we'll get a chance to talk to the head coach of the Wildcats. I know he'll be pleased. You know, he was telling me yesterday after our 14-1 win over Leesburg, Florida, that we were going to play 2 really good teams. And we did. When we got here, Jefferson County was playing Farragut. And everyone knows about Farragut. I mean, state champions for the last, 22, 23, 24, 25. Jefferson County beat them 2-1 in that first ball game. And, we came back and beat them 8-2. Of course, you start running out of pitching a little bit, but we won both games. As Coach Free has joined us, we'll get a chance to talk to him. Coach, good day's work here for your Wildcat team. Good day's work. I mean, you were telling me yesterday about how good the teams were. We got here. We saw Jefferson County beat Farragut 2-1 in a very intense ball game. You come out and you beat them 8-2. Big win. Jackson Gary and the rest of the guys pitched incredibly well. The second ball game, you played. Started a freshman, Braylon Payne. I just spoke to him. Loves baseball. He loves baseball. He pitched well. You got a lot of different guys on the mound. You're so deep at pitching. Even these young guys that have come out here, and you got Cheeto, another inning of work. Not quite as sharp as he was, but he's going to work his way back in. Your hitting was timely. You hit a couple home runs. Your son hit a laser shot through those trees and a moonshot by Mikey earlier, but it's not the home runs. It's situational things, running the bases, stealing bases, taking the extra base, and making good plays. And you've got to be – I know as a coach you always can find things you don't like, but you got to be pleased to sweep a doubleheader against two really, really good teams.
Obviously, we feel good about winning. I mean, winning's, Coach Green always tells me, he said, Coach, never take winning for granted, and I don't. I mean, you got to celebrate it and you got to enjoy it because winning's hard. I mean, we've all been around Oak Ridge baseball for a long time, you longer than me, and, winning is just difficult. It's hard at all levels, and today we took care of business. We did a lot of good things, like pitching, once again, was probably our strong suit, and we defended pretty good today. So that paid off, and then we were able to execute and kind of – like you said, we tried to put as much pressure on them today as we could to try to get some runs on the board. I always feel like on a Saturday going into a doubleheader that you better score as many runs as possible because you don't want to play a 2-1 game. You just don't want to play that game on a Saturday. So try to add a little pressure to them to try to hopefully maybe get 5, 6, 7, 8 runs on the board, and we did that today. And so I'm pleased with the way they played. As the back end of the second game got going, we kind of ran out of gas a little bit, and that's kind of where we've got to build our stamina. That's why we play so many games, and that's, 5 this week? Next week, hopefully, we play 6. So if we do that, that kind of where we start to get our stamina and find our stride, hopefully.
Coach, I won't keep you long. I'm afraid the bad weather's coming in. We want to get out of here. Recap the first game for me. Recap the second game.
Obviously, the first game, Jackson was not his best, but we limited his pitch count to under, I think, around 50. That way we can bring him back into next week early into our pitching rotation to be able to throw. We got some big hits. Mikey with the big hit to kind of get things started. Then we kind of added some runs late and really controlled the game on pitching. We did a really good job there. Jaden had a good inning. Trice came in and gave us a good inning. I mean, all those things happened, and we were able to get Cannon Sachs in the game, which is a big deal. Second game, Braylon Payne was phenomenal, really, to kind of get his first ever varsity start. I'm sure he was extremely nervous. His velo was up to 87 miles an hour, I heard, which is kind of crazy good for a freshman. So the upside for him is through the roofs, we hope. Also, big home run by Parker to kind of just take the pressure off a little bit. And then we kind of just added to it. Big hit by Carson to kind of add a couple runs there late. But all in all, pitching was great. We defended great, and we got some timely hits like you said. But all in all, a great day, and the weather was great and just a great atmosphere here. So it was good. It was a good experience. And now let's get down to Gulf Shores and kind of let the pressure get off a little bit and see if we can start playing a little bit better baseball.
You're the defending champions. You'll be heading down there to play some good teams, starting with North Little Rock, I believe, and then, like you said, hopefully 6 more ball games. Why do you go to that tournament?
Well, I think it's important for your team to go out of town to a beach destination to kind of build some camaraderie. Usually I like to go a little earlier, but this week, it just kind of worked out the way our spring break fell. I like to go down there because it brings a bunch of us. I think we're taking 24 kids down there. We get to hang out and do some cool things. I think that helps build our team and build our culture internally so that when we get back and we get on the grind of the district play, we're ready to go because we're all together.
I got one more question. It's out of order, but I wanted to talk to you about this, and this will be the last one. We got some people watching from Guam watching your backup catcher, Max DeRigi. Is that how it's pronounced? And, he's got a laser arm. I mean, if your son wasn't in front of him, that would be a guy that could play for anybody, I think. He frames the ball well. He's not a big kid, but he's got a really good arm, and I thought he did a good job. And his family's watching from Guam right now, so.
Well, it's pretty cool, honestly. Like, Max has got a huge ceiling ahead of him. He's got a little bit, like, get in here. Slowly he started to progress, and lately he's kind of finding his way. Have to get him some reps and live bullets with JV here a little bit, but I knew his time was coming that he's going to get a chance to go. And, unfortunately, Parker is just there, and he's good, but also it helps us to get Parker out from there. And so we got 2 guys that are great to do that, and it's pretty cool that we've been able to span the globe a little bit this year.
Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we'll see you at the beach.
Thank you.
That is Coach Travis Free. The Wildcats sweep the doubleheader. They knock off Jefferson County 8-2. They knock off Providence Academy 6-3. That about does it, Caleb. Let's wrap it up. We appreciate Jeff Huckabee for joining us for our second ball game. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School baseball will be coming up Monday. The Wildcats at 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time from Gulf Shores High School, taking on North Little Rock out of Arkansas. For Caleb Riker, Jeff Huckabee, Mike Kelly, this is David Clary.